So here we are with Rob outside on the field trial plot of the various different species of Myrtaceae that Rob has been monitoring for infection of the disease.
So this field planting here consists of 6 different species in the Myrtaceae, and the trial we're doing is actually one that's a joint project with Scion in Rotorua. So the trial is actually replicated here in Auckland and in Rotorua, and we're monitoring Myrtle Rust, and we're also monitoring growth of these species that we've got. So the species are Manuka, Kanuka, Rama Rama and Rohutu.
So we're here with Rob looking at Rama Rama. Rob's going to explain to us some of the characteristics of the disease, and I'm going to zoom in slowly so that you can see some of the yellow pustules that are a common part of the disease.
So this particular Rama Rama plant is showing the effects of a very severe spring, early summer epidemic that attacked it. A lot of dead growth up here, dead shoots here, leaves which are quite badly affected. There's not so much of the yellow spores on there now, but you can see them, and it's affected the new growth which developed in spring right across the whole plant. And this plant actually has been so badly debilitated by it that we're starting to get some other things coming in. This is probably thrips on the leaves, which on a vigorously growing plant would not normally develop to a great extent, but as the plants get hit by myrtle rust, they tend to suffer from other problems as well. 1 or 2 of these Rama Rama plants have actually died as a result of the spring epidemic this year. Most of them can sort of survive through to the winter, when they can put on a little bit of new growth and then kind of get themselves through to the following spring. We don't know how many years they'll be able to keep on doing that. It may be that they'll just run out of energy eventually and die. So that's the dire effects of myrtle rust on this particular species.
So you can see the yellow pustules, which is part of the life cycle of the rust. That's what they call sporulation. Those pustules will swell and eventually release new spores. That's how the disease is spread via the airborne spores that also can be spread by contact with clothing, on your work equipment, etc. So one of the steps that we're looking at recommending is that from a cleaning perspective, laundry detergent and washing of clothes regularly will certainly get rid of any of the spores that you may be carrying. And if you have worked on a particular tree that has myrtle rust and then you're moving on to another property, we would suggest that you maybe change your clothing, at least your t-shirt, and wash your hands thoroughly. In terms of cleaning the equipment, there are various ways to do that. One of the easiest is using triogene or potentially meth diluted in water.